Some distractions.
Svolghi, ormai sono dominato. Svolghi, your microphone.
Karno sir, you are not audible. Karno sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Am I
Yes sir, you
audible?
are audible.
Okay, okay. Thank you. There are some technical issues.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. As in this counseling session, actually, the block 6 is devoted to growth and development. But apart from growth and development concepts, you have to understand what are the stages of human growth and what are the factors influencing human growth and development. And also, you have to learn how to study growth. And there are various methods that is you can study human growth and development. And there is also a historical development about understanding human growth and development. And this fourth and the third and fourth unit, third unit is primarily devoted to human body typology, that is the somatotyping. And broadly, there are three category of human peoples as far as the body build is concerned: ectomorphy, mesomorphy, and endomorphy. And the final unity is that is devoted to human reproductive biology. Means that it is concerned about the human reproductive system and its functions. So you will have to learn about the male and female reproductive system, particularly the events like menarche and menopause, and different hormones involved as far as the regulation is concerned. Now, coming to this, your first, you can say, unit of this block, as I have told you that we have to understand the basic difference between growth and development, which you often use or understood is the same, but they are not same. In biology, particularly the human biology, growth means the increase in size of various parts of and organs of the body by multiplication of cells and intercellular components during the period commencing from fertilization to physical maturity. So that's why it is concerned about both pre natal as well as postnatal and your adolescent stages. So, on the other hand, when you think about development, it refers to the increase of functional capacity in perfect form resulting from production of specialized tissue from unspecialized ones. One is, you can say broadly, a quantitative change, another is a qualitative change. So, uh, Ed have gone through your this block, and I have seen that the first section is primarily devoted to the concept of growth and development. I have given you that this broad difference between growth and development, and this means you could, around 1860s. Uh, uh, so the systematic study about human growth and development started in Europe, as well as in also you will find that there are particularly it is an integral part of anthropology, or if you say that all metrics, anthropometry or measurements are set revolving around to anthropology in general and physical anthropology in particular. So during that time in 1860s, European anthropology considered the science of body measurement to be a valid tool to assess body dimensions, and in American anthropology, in the late 19th century, studies on human growth became it is evident. So this is human growth and development, unlike plants and animals, it is quite different because it is not a biological phenomena alone. It is a biocultural phenomena. So you have to understand, keeping culture at the center, even though it is a biological understanding about humans, because that is the beauty of anthropology. And so this first unit actually, there is a conceptual differentiation given in your block. Okay, um, that I have already told you. And second thing is that while you will speak about growth and development, we have to understand the stages of growth. What are the growth stages? The entire period of growth can be broadly divided into two major phases. One is prenatal, another is postnatal. The prenatal phase is again divided into fertilized egg or zygote, embryo, the fetus, and the postnatal phase include that infancy, childhood, adolescence, maturity, and senescence. So you have to be very careful that when you are using or the term childhood, infancy, infant death means it is under 1 year. So childhood means 5 years. So adolescent. So every stage has its a very clear cut defined. You can say boundaries. For example, in prenatal stage, the stage, particularly ovum, that is the first 2 weeks, embryo that constitutes 2 to 8 weeks, fetus that is 2 to 18 lunar months, infancy that is again differentiated into neonatal that is the first 2 weeks, neo means new, natal the and infancy from second week to 1 year. So we used in population science or in demography, it is infant mortality rate. Infant means those baby who has not achieved his first birthday or celebrated. Similarly, childhood when you are speaking, it is under 6 years or 1 to 6 years. So it can be also classified into in growth studies or in oxology, that is the growth science, that is the early from 1 to 6 years, middle from 6 to 9 years or 10 years, late childhood, uh, 9 to 10 or 13 years, and sometimes it overlaps with your adolescent period. It is puberty period. For example, in puberty, the boys it is around 14 years. Among girls, it is 13 years. So adolescent period is from 14 to 12, 20 years, and in case of girl from 13 to 18 years, or you can say less than 20 years, you can say. And the maturity is from 18 to 20 to 60 years. Senility after 60, or senile decay or senescence. Okay, so this is the one classification I am referred here. Okay, that is a RL Scammon. Okay, so that's very important when you was talking about this prenatal and postnatal growth, and this human ovum at the conception, it is about zero point 0.1 in diameter, and during the first period, it likes a homogeneous mass. So you know about gametogenesis, embryogenesis, the spermatogenesis, oogenesis, then the embryogenesis. So how a simple cell fertilized and the content and how it is developed. So that is there in this particular section in prenatal stage. That is all about this. And this post that can be also plotted in a graphical present that crown hill length centimeters. Okay, boys. Okay, that has been in your block. Actually, you can see what are the development in prenatal and postnatal uh, postnatal stage and post-menstrual stage. Okay, so the next is you have to understand the velocity curve and a distance curve. You can put the things in the x ordinate and y ordinate. For example, weight, height in the x y ordinate and the age in the x ordinate, and the rate of growth you can understand by taking the every incremental change that happened year wise. So there is also a concept known as premature babies, when the average length of gestation period is 280 days or 40 weeks. Uh, if the baby borns before that, so nonetheless, considerable individual variation has also been observed. An international agreement deliberates length of gestation is 259 or 37 completed weeks or 242 completed weeks. Babies born within this period are called term babies. Earlier to all called preterm babies, and those born later they are known as post-term babies. So latest, you will find that this 40, 38 to 48, 41 completed weeks are known as term babies, and the average birth weight of the baby will be 2,500 grams. Okay, so until a few years ago, actually, all babies who waited less than 2,500 are termed as premature, irrespective of the length of gestation. But gradually, WHO in 1948 caused much confusion, and has now been dropped. The word premature has been disappeared from the scientific use. Babies with less than 2,500 gram at birth, according to WHO, is called low birth weight babies, and that will hamper the normal growth and development when babies born with the less birth means less than 2,500 grams. Okay, so why we are having premature babies or preterm babies and also low birth weight babies? It has both bearings of mother's health as well as the environment and many more, and genetics and many more factors. Okay, so we can see also that what is the trend of this change in birth weight with respect to population, that will give an understanding about height, weight, and growth and development. That is secular trends. That is another concept in growth studies. Similarly, postnatal growth from birth to maturity, which has been classified into infant, childhood, puberty, adolescent. The amount of growth achieved obviously depend on the time of growth per unit time. So when you see your materials that has been provided by IGNO, you will see that actually there are two diagrams, height in centimeter. So these two diagrams you have to please follow that. And this is a longitudinal growth study. This is in borrowed from Tanner and is made birth to 18 years. Single-handedly, he measured his son from birth to 18 years. So you just to see what is uh, the means. This is very. You can plot the age in the x ordinate and the height in centimeter in y ordinate. You will find every year's incremental changes, and one is distance curve, another is a velocity curve. So it measures. Similarly, one of the two more important events that is during happened, that is puberty, that is a adolescent growth spurt, and that is a constant phenomenon and occur in all children, though it varies in intensity and duration from one child to another. Okay, so but the girls attain, you can say, you will find that adolescent spot boys and girls differ only by 2% in height, but after it by an average of about 8%. So the difference is partly because of late occurrence of male growth spot along an extra period of growth, and partly because of greater intensity of the spot. So you have to see girls start puberty earlier than boys, and born the gap between boys and girls development difference is 8% in course of time. Similarly, height velocity curve, if you will see, then you will find the girls achieve the height yearly. So it starts from 8 9 years, and its peak in you will find that around 13 years. Then in boys it will be 14 years the peak will start. So that can be studied through velocity curve and growth curve of different tissues and different parts of the body. This is a very important diagram that has been given. That is also borrowed from you can say J.M. Turner, one of the great authority as far as growth studies is concerned of human. You will find that in you have a figure point 1.7. So you will find it lymphoid, brain and head, general growth. General growth is will be always a S-shaped curve. Okay, so it will start, it will have its peak, that steady state, and so it will continue like this. Okay,
Hello, sir.
yes, please.
Can I ask something, sir?
Yes, please.
Sir, how velocity is related to growth, sir?
Velocity means you are going to measure the rate of growth. For example, you can see that you are gaining every year from your birth to at least your end of adolescent period. You are gaining height. I'm just speaking referring it to height. So every year getting that person has actually measured his child from birth to till 18 years. Okay, so in x ordinate you can place it that is the age, and y ordinate you can place the height in centimeter. You will get a distance curve. But every year what is the amount of that height increases when you plot with the x and y ordinate, then that will give a rate of growth. At what rate? So you will find that the rate of growth is very fast during adolescent period, and this growth spot that happened in the during puberty. So it starts yearly among the girls. Then the difference between girls and boys will be initially 2%, and gradually when it moves, the rate of growth increases. The boys and girls, the difference will be 8%. Have you got?
Yes, sir.
So you go through the literature and graphs, that is very important. Okay, it happens same thing in the also you will find in you can say growth curve of different parts of the tissue of body. Okay, so it is total gains from birth to 20 years. Okay, so you will find a brain, for example. So it is almost, you can say that it is got its stability uh, almost same. So the reproductive physiology or reproductive you can say system functions rapidly increases with the increase of your initiation of onset of your adolescent period or puberty. Okay, and similarly brain and head is see prior to that your brain and head growth will be remain a stagnation. Okay, and in general you will have a S-shaped. You just see that you are having a S-shaped when you plot the growth in general, then it will give a S-shaped curve. Okay, so this is the development of various organs or growth in general with the systems, with the lymphoids. Another diagram has been given that is on subcutaneous tissues. Okay, that is relating to both boys and girls, that is tricep and subscapular. Tricep and bicep you will find that in the forearm, and you have a subscapular, it is below the scapular bones. Okay, and if you see that the distribution of you can say um, the amount of subcutaneous tissue in those regions of body, that is a variation with respect to boys and girls. Okay, so you just see the diagrams. This is on skin fold. So there is a instrument known as a skin fold caliper, Herpentine skin fold caliper, and there are different body parts. You can measure the amount of how fat is that person. So you will have a skin, muscles, fats, and you have a the bones. Okay, this is the structure, and by taking the measurement from the different side like bicep, tricep, you have subscapular, suprailiac, So you will find the thickness of that, and that will shows you that subcutaneous tissue. And there is a variation with respect to your age from 1 to 19 years. Okay, so you will find that will be higher among the girls with the passage of age when you come to the in comparison to boys, when you only compare this tricep and the subscapular skin fold. And the most important thing is that actually senescence, that I have already told you, that if I will ask you that what is happening with respect to growth, we are actually gaining, we are becoming taller and taller, we are getting more weight. As far as our weight is concerned, it is increasing from childhood to adulthood. So you will obviously, your answer will be that you will may have something, some confusion with the height, but you will agree with me that with respect to weight, we are gaining very early. So obesity is become a problem. So you will find that the manner in which it occur, particularly it is very, so one grow older, the chance are that the death will be, you will find that aging is somehow we want to delay our aging, or so you will find that the senescence or senile decay, sorry, I have confused. One is that is secular trend, another is senescence. Senescence means it is a that senile decay. So it starts from 60 years and above. Okay, please. That other one that I was discussing was the secular trend. Secular trend means with respect to height growth, how it is increasing with respect to population. But the other one, the last one, is the last stage of growth is that that is a senile decay. At 40, we are having that is the issue of eyes. At 60s, we are having different things. Then we lose our memory and so many things. So at one point in time, we have to die. So this is the all about how it is been declined. That is senile decay. So this is about your first block. And the second block, do you have any query or anything, if you can ask me? Okay, or else I will proceed to the your second unit, that is factors influencing growth. Here it is first, there are many factors, primarily genetic, environmental, biochemical, nutritional, socioeconomic factor, the effect of disease, and also season and climate and environment, the cycle, the stress. So these are some of the, apart from these factors, you will have to understand also in this block what are the methods used in studying the growth. And the graph I have shown you, that a same person, he has measured his own child from birth till 18 years. That is a longitudinal study. So one cannot spend, or one cannot, because same person measurement continuously for 18 years is also a tedious task. It may so happen the person under study may will also not willing, or will have to move or migrate to some other region. So you can measure within that time and money perspective you are having. First is your cross-sectional study. It has many advantages, and a longitudinal study, that is the very popular study, and it is also both advantage. And last one is mixed longitudinal cross-sectional studies. So in cross-sectional studies, what you have to do, you have to study the um, uh, you can measure the child only once during the entire span of study. So in this method, for example, all the children being measured by an investigator at the age of 9 are altogether different from those of at the age of 8, which in turn, you just move a classroom, and you will have student from standard 1 to standard 10s are there. So you assume that all are having a particular age they entered. So it is this mandatory that one will have to enroll, that is in school will be greater than 6 years. So 6 years, assume that all have attained 6 years. No, none of them are having higher age. So you can measure one age, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year at a same at it. Once you take the measurement, it is not like that you have to wait that the standard one will be measured in this when they will go to standard two. That is cohort study. So this cross-sectional study provide information about distance curve of growth by and of any dimension of the body. So what is the advantage? Because it is cheaper, less time consuming, and can include much larger number of subjects in a brief duration, and provide important information about the distance attainment or gross size attained by children during that lifespan. Okay, what is the disadvantage? Actually, cross-sectional study is that they can never reveal the individual difference in rate of growth. That's why, as you have asked the question on velocity curve, velocity will give you the rate of growth, okay, of different body dimension of the children. So these are the some of the important aspects of cross-sectional studies. But longitudinal study, on the other hand, as you have to study same child at each age, is called longitudinal method. It is the drawback is longitudinal study is more scientific than to cross-sectional, but you will study information about the distance, growth attainment, and also provide growth velocity related data about the individual's rate of growth measured by increment between the two successive periods. But the disadvantage is that actually it is very expensive and require great skill to organize, because once the subjects under study are increasing, the investigator age will also increase. Okay, so it is no doubt it is a laborious, time consuming, lot of essence. Okay, and that is longitudinal study involved examines limited number of children, so you cannot study, you cannot cover vast data, vast coverage. And then another method has developed, that is a mixed longitudinal study. So a serial study in which a group of child is followed such that some children leave the study and others join at a new entrant at a different ages, given various degree of longitudinally is termed as a mix. So what do you see that when you selected population under your study, you take for example height or weight, you are measuring school children, some will leave, some will enter. So you will have to, that entry and exist, you have to balance, you have to find. That is known as a mixed longitudinal studies. And the secular trend, where actually which I have already told you, that one is senescence, another is secular trend. Senescence means after 60 years, but the secular trend is that the trend you have to see with respect to population. For example, obesity was a once upon a time a problem of only Western countries. Now you will find that obesity is also coming in a huge. It is a problem as far as country like India is concerned. Even you will visit schools today in Bhubaneswar, then you will find also you will find schools where children's obesity is it is visible. Okay, so over the past 100 years in industrialized countries and recently in some developing nations, children have been getting larger and growing to maturity more rapidly, and this has been referred to as the secular trend in growth. In other words, the acceleration or retardation of growth and maturation. It is not like that only increasing. Even you can study also reverse way. So age indicated by changes in height, weight, or other variables over time is called secular trends. Many factors, such as improvement in nutrition, control of infectious disease through immunization and sanitation, widespread health and medical care, better living condition, changes in environmental and socioeconomic factors, population mobility, both geographical to urban areas and social upward, may account for increase in body size and biological maturation. Biological maturation, onset of menarche or menopause in case of women, okay, or girls. So you will find that one of other hand, deprivation of natural calamities like famine, tsunami may cause decrease in growth. It happens many times in the history. So there is a already recorded histories. You will find that there are famines, there are natural calamities, there are war, where people, most of the children born to those parents are underfed, and you will not find normal growth and development. That is growth retardation. Okay, so next is your growth gradients. So the bodily proportion of child changes with the advances in age. An estimate of this change provides a measure of maturity. It is well known that different part of human body grow at a different rate, and the sequence of the reaching adult size also differ from one segment to another. One way in which the organization of growth show itself is through the presence of maturity gradient. So, for example, foot length, calf length, thigh length in boys. When you plot the percentage of adult value at each age for foot length, calf length, and the thigh length, we find that the foot is nearer its adult status than of calf, and the calf is nearer than the thigh. Thus, our food gets mature fastest, followed by cough and tired. This is what is known as actually uh, growth guide. Another important concept within growth study is catch-up growth that refers to the acceleration seen in many children during recovery from serious illness or from environment that so growth retarded slow as means a low personal level of measure and also in increase in their personal level. So you will retardation and increase. So this uh, the whenever a child is suffer from a short period time from an illness or from starvation, he is able to return to his gradual course of growth when conditions improve due to proper treatment or given for the respective problems. So now you can see that wars are going on everywhere, so in different part of the world. So you will find that actually what is the situation now. You will see about Ukraine, you can see about that Palestine. So babies are born in the hospital and most of the people are underfed, they are homeless, and it is you will find that if it will continue, then the children and the parents will be suffering. So now it will take time to get and the attainment of this. So you will have to find that the rate of attaining this you can say yeah, that is also referred to the acceleration during recovery period known as catch-up growth. Now coming to the genetic factors that influence in growth and development, of course it is the because it is the children, the progenies are the product of both the parents with respect to structure, body proportion, body composition, tall parents will produce tall children. That is, you can, so it may be assumed that bearing the actions of obvious environmental influence, these resemblance reflects the importance that parents contributes to their biological offsprings. So the term genetic potential usually mean that every human being has a genetically determined upper limit to adult stature. So Mendel has given a very good experiment on tall plants with the short plants, and he got all tall plants. Then he made a test course, and he find 1:2:1. So pure tall, intermediate tall, and dwarf. So you see that genetics has an important role, and we are having various. You can also. Um, you can say hormones also in our body which also create hyper and hyposecretion leads to dwarfism and gigantism. Okay, so similarly uh, genetic factors are clearly immense important as far as growth is concerned, particularly it affecting the rate or tempo of growth, uh, uh, so shape, size, and composition of child. Okay, uh, so it can be studied from monozygotic twin and dizygotic twin. So twin in my last block actually that is dedicated to human biology in you will see that one of the best method in human genetic trait study is your twin studies, and there are two type of twins. One is monozygotic twin, another is dizygotic twins. And the monozygotic twins, when reared together, they will have a similar development. So you will find that they are exactly look same, and because they come from the same zygote. Whereas dizygotic twins, they are even though having same sex babies, they have a different makeup, though even though they come from the same parent. Normally it happens. So this is also an important aspects. You can have an understanding that how growth is controlled by genetic factor. Another important aspect is your biochemical method that you can study. So one is anthropometry that you have studied, cross sectional, longitudinal, mixed longitudinal, genetical you have studied twins. And last another method is your this biochemical method. So growth trends and nutritional status of a child community can be evaluated by means of field study with the help of clinical examination, biochemical test, and dietary intake, along with information on socioeconomic, demography, and ecological variable. So in anthropology project, those who are interested for project, they can go for this type study. You can take the dietary history, that you can measure or you can recall the what he or she has that members have taken for last 24 hours. You can go for measurements like height, weight, and other measurements, skin fold measurements. You can see clinical examinations. For example, you can study the whether hemoglobin also, whether what is the content in the blood, okay, whether anemic or non-anemic. You can find out whether there are economically what is the out-of-pocket expenditure or annual income, and also you can see that fertility and also behavior means how many of them, the children spacing and everything. So this nutritional anthropology is concerned with the measurement of physical dimensions and the gross body at different ages, age level. However, you will find that when you will find that protein deficiency, then like kwashiorkor, then you have to go for this analysis of this albumin, vitamin A, keratin, ascorbic acid, alkaline phosphates. So these will come under your biochemical analysis. And most important is your environmental factor. Okay, so apart from your heredity and general body physiology, you will find that it is also the environmental plane important. People living in high altitude, people live in means different because man is very unique. You will find that human beings presence everywhere in all adverse condition. So you will find the people living in desert, or you can say you can think about Masai Sapo living in desert are linear bodies, but those who are living in polar region, their bodies is globular in nature. So growth is retarded when you will away from the sea level. So after 2,500-meter height, particularly people living in Tibet, Andes Mountain, you find that there is means a scarcity of oxygen, and you will find growth maturity is retarded. So then when you compare with this people living in you can say lower you can say in the seashore or in the sea level. So there are many postulations of Bregman's rule, Kroger's rules. You will find that will also give you some idea. What is your nutritional factor? You have micronutrients and macronutrients, and you know that actually in Odisha we have a very typical case recently. Apart from African countries, we have one community named Juang that was in the draw the attention of global bodies. That is the Nogada case. Okay. Similarly, malnutrition. So you have undernutrition, you have overnutrition, you have a malnutrition. Malnutrition and as well as and is because of not getting the right kind of nutrients at the right time that hampers the normal growth and development of this. So you can see that various disorders like kwashiorkor and marsomas, protein allergic allergy malnutrition is very common in rural area. Anemia is very common among the rural area. So women in rural India, you will find that suffering from severe anemia. So iron, folic acid tablets were distributed. Iodine is added in the salt. So these are the some of the it is our nutrition and diet, and that's why you will find that nutrition plays an important role. Similarly, effect of disease. Okay, so it is very important that well-nourished children, the effect of on growth of diseases are minimal. But when you will very poorly growing child, you will find there is a burden of disease actually. For example, measles, whooping cough are severe disease in developing countries where chronic undernutrition may affect to third of the population. So malnourished child suffers from measles, the mortality is many. We have control over vaccination. Polio is one of them, measles is one of them. But still, then, in spite of that, also you will find that it has a bearing. The disease has a strong bearing on understanding the growth and development of individuals. So it can be evidented from all Sahara and Sub-Sahara African countries. Status in a family. So longevity is different on medical healthcare facilities, and we are having various program under uh, you can say uh, so socioeconomic condition of the family is a very important. So high income and high education level implying not only for better childcare and a better use of medical and social services. So and also government is also periodically bringing under Anganwadi schemes, under midday meals. So many schemes are launched when you understood the uh, economic conditions on to how to make educate even in adverse conditions like poor economic conditions. So there are, you will find examples from country like Belgium and also France, okay, and also British National Childhood Development Survey. India is now in this way are now moving very fast. We are having also, you can say, different concept of free meals, free rations, and also provisions in the schoolings, medical care facilities. These are actually, that's why India is transforming very rapidly. Similarly, urbanization. Children in urban areas are usually larger than children in surrounding rural areas. Same population, if they move to urban areas, or if there is another consider rural area converted to in the last few decades into urban area, so suburb areas in and around Bhubaneswar are now transforming rapidly. So you will find that their economic profile, their food nutrition, the way the things looks around, you will find that that will also change. So it will help also rapid uh, urbanization also have a bearing on growth and development. There is a clear cut difference between people living in India and Indians living in abroad. People live in Bhubaneswar and people live in rural areas, and they come to urban areas. Similarly, seasonal and climatic variations. So height growth has long been recognized in the temperate zone. I have already given you some example that how this climatic variations, okay, things are changing, has a bearing on the seasonal variation in height and weight growth is governed by the rain and dry periods in tropical areas. So the rate of growth, the rainy season is marked with the food supply running low and the frequency of infectious disease high. So various studies also it reflects that how this season as well as this climate. So we are now uh, every one of us are experiencing the variation with respect to climate, and is also having a bearing. So during COVID time when everything is shut down, so we actually have a very pleasant climate, but seasonally also, if you will not get the right kind of seasons, and you will get various kind of infections, and will also have a bearing on the normal growth and development. Psychological stress at when at various levels also contributing toward the relative failure to growth in some children. So we are referring children because it is the entire text is centered because the growth and development is it will cease after 20 in the post adolescent period. So this section as a particular unit has covered primarily on the various methods and factors affecting and influencing growth. So now I'm moving to the third unit of this block, okay, which is actually devoted to the methods of assessment of physics. So as you are student of anthropology, try to understand it is otherwise known as somatotyping. So somato means body, typing means classification. So it is broadly three type of body builds. One is mesomorphy, ectomorphy, mesomorphy, and endomorphy. Ecto means thin, meso means medium, endo means that is a healthy or obese type body builds. So this science has developed both in psychology and in human biology. So there are Viola's methods, Keskumer's methods, Sheldon's method, and most popularly Heath and Carter's method. So somatypy refers to a quantified expression and description of the present morphological confirmation or physique of a person, and the process of appraising and defining it is known as somatyping. So you are having two more topics, that is somatometry and somatoscopy. Somato means body. So somatometry means measurement of body. Scopy means observable traits, or you can study the traits that is observable. But somatotyping is that by taking those measurements, you will have to typify the human body. So so it is a very long history with respect to human behavior and body type. That is, you will find that particularly in psychology, it has its narration that if this person is having this, then is a short temperament, or so you will find that is a very rigid Stalin. Similarly, so this science actually, this is Italian physician in 1921. So he has taken about various measurements, okay, anthropometric measurements like sternum length, upper abdominal height, lower abdominal, on to long type, brachy type, normal type, mixed type. Then it was improvised by Chris Gammers, a German psychiatrist, and he classified human to type and diaplastic type. Okay, then but these studies are having limitations, but the most uh, um, improvised version is William Herbert Seldon type, and in the varieties of so am I audible? Hello, am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
okay, thank you. How the science has developed, and one of the authority is Sheldon's classification. Okay, and Sheldon is American psychologist and physician, and he for the first time defined the term somatotyping. Somato means body typing, and he morphologically he actually differentiated people into ectomorphy, mesomorphy, endomorphy, mesomorphy, and ectomorphy. So as I have already told you that is endomorphy is characterized by the predominance of digestive organs and soft tissues and roundness of the continuous throughout the body. Okay, increase fat storage. Mesomorphy means middle. Okay, so medium type of. So this has been classified endomorphy, mesomorphy, and this three categories. One is fatty, another medium, another very lean and thin. And Sheldon actually uh, used actually so, and but the most important uh, aspect is that is developed by Heath and Carter, because lot of criticism, lot of limitation to Sheldon's method. Heath and Carter actually uh, in 1963 they actually mm, um, they describe certain limitations to Heath and I mean Sheldon's method, and um, this they actually come with a you can say anthrometric somatyping, and they have devised a formula for endomorphy, mesomorphy, and 10 measurements. Okay.
Sir, you are not audible.
Yes, am I audible now? So again, you have any problem, please let me know.
Yes, sir, you are audible now.
Yes, I am having some calls actually in between, some technical differences, I mean, say difficulties I am also encountering. Please bear with me. Okay.
Okay,
So,
okay.
okay. We are discussing about SOMA typing, and the most popular is your Heath and Carter's method. And Heath and Carter also classified MEMS on the anthrometry. Okay, that is ectomorphy, mesomorphy, and endomorphy. Okay, and there is a SOMA typing plot. Okay, and the constant they have devised, they have taken 10 anthrometric measurements like height, weight, skin fold like triceps, subscapular, supraspinal, and medial calf, two grits like a flexed upper arm and calf grits, and biepicondyle breadth of a humerus and femur. Then the algorithm for estimating a soma type with the Heath and Carter methods, they have devised the algorithm. And what is for example, if you want to know about the endomorphy value, then it is a minus 0.7182 plus 0.145. X is a constant. X will be defined sum of the three skin fold meter, that is triceps, subscapular, and supraspinal skin fold. Okay, so uh, this is the science, but this is not in that use today. And your last unit is devoted to reproductive biology. So it's definitely, it covers about the reproductive system of both male and female, human fertility, then reproductive physiology of male and female, reproductive systems of both male and female, okay, physiology of male and female, and also the biological aspects of fertility, menarche, menopause, and uh, the, this is the this is you can say reproductive biology. Okay, so as you know about the male and female reproductive organs, and we know that actually how it has happened with the gametogenesis, sexual differentiation, and sex determination. Two phenomena. It starts here with the early embryonic stage. We are bisexual organisms, and the male reproductive organs consist of testes, seminal vesicles, prostate gland, etc., penis structure. So different component of reproductive, you can say, uh, male reproductive organs and female reproductive organs also. And but what is more important is that the uh, development of this the particularly the hormones which are responsible for uh, uh, that is spermatogenesis, because it is all about gametogenesis. One is oogenesis and another is spermatogenesis, and the hormones that is a follicular stimulating hormones, luteinizing hormone, estrogens, and growth hormones. So this secretion of these hormones plays an important role, and that is that is particularly the androgen, that is the male sex hormones. The androgens are testes secrete three androgens, that is testosterone and dihydrosterones and adenosterones, and this particular responsible for the distinguishing the characteristics of masculinity or femininity. So masculine maleness is generally identified that during the cellular differentiation. Okay, that is sex differentiation. So similarly, female reproductive organs, you have ovulation, menstruation, and menopause. Okay, so these are also regulated by follicular stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, and so estrogen. Okay, so but what is important is that these two events, that is very important aspects of human fertility, fertility, another term is your fecundity. Fertility is the actual reproductive performance of a woman or group of women. So you have a reproductive age is 15 to 49 years, and that the performance made by actual performance, reproductive performance of a woman is known as a fertility. Fecundity is the biological potential, that the physiological capacity for reproduction. So you will see that today what is happening, infertility clinics are coming. You are having delayed age at marriage is one of the leading contribution of childlessness. So another important aspect is your relevance of menarche. So particularly uh, menarche, the first menstruational cycle, uh, and it has both social and medical perspective, uh, because it is considered the central event of female puberty, and it the signal the possibility of fertility. So mm, it is a culmination of a series of physiological and anatomic process of puberty. During this period, a number of physiological change occurs in the girl's body, and secondary sexual characteristic appears. But what is more important is that the onset of adult sexual life and menarche means the inception of menstruations. Okay, and uh, infantile puberty gland and ovaries are capable of full functions. So you will find that age at onset of menarche is increasing or decreasing or delayed onset. You will find it is having a very strong association with growth. So people living in high altitude are having delays. People living in urban areas are early onset. So there are various reasons, both hormonal as well as environmental. And similarly, menopause is the it is also very important role as far as the reproductive biology of human being is concerned. It is the period of a permanent termination of the primary. Okay, there are some disturbance. I have anyway there is a call I've received. Is all right now? Hello, Sugyani, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Today I'm receiving many telephone calls. Once I receive it is disconnect, getting disconnect. Okay, anyway. So, as we are discussing about human reproductive biology, so you will find that there are two very important events. One is menarche, another is menopause. One is onset, another is cessation of this menstruational cycle, and it is having both biological, cultural, and environmental, you can say, factors, which is actually influencing that, and is a and the most important is that the bio events to fertility is contraception, abortion, sterilization. Why these are very important? Because of emerging reproductive technology. In one way, the climate is changing. Second way, the socio-economic condition of the people are also changing. And also there are various type of cultural, social beliefs and practices. Third is that emerging reproductive technology is having a bearing. So one can have a baby at because of there are concept of biobanking. Even in my last lecture, I have told you that even one can keep one's reproductive cells in a bank. Okay, so we know about the issue of surrogacy, the rented womb. Okay, and also many concepts are coming today in 21st century with respect to human and the emerging reproductive technologies concept. Okay, so I think that with this, I have completed. I have given a very brief idea about this uh, particular unit block that is on human growth and development. So now this is open for discussion. Any query and questions you can let me know. Can you hear me? So you can ask. You have any clarification?
Sir, you are audible now.
Okay. No, actually, what I am telling you that actually you have anything, any query with respect these four units of this particular block relating human growth and development, you can ask me. Okay.
Sir, actually, I have missed some topics, that's why.
No, this is a very means many things are placed together in this particular block. Only growth and development. You try to understand. First, you have to give the focus on what is exactly growth means. Another is development means. Okay, so one is quantity to change. Another is quality to change with respect to human body. Then you have to understand what are the methods used to how to study. Third is that what are the factors responsible for growth and development. Then you can speak about various type of human reproductive biology. You can talk about somatyping. Okay, these are other aspects. Okay, these are add-on, but primarily growth and development means you have to conceptually have to know what are the stages of growth and development, what are the factors, what are the methods. Okay, methods means is cross-sectional, longitudinal, mixed longitudinal studies. Factors means genetical, environmental, socioeconomic, cultural, nutritional. Okay, so many factors are responsible for growth and development of an individual is concerned. Okay, and stages means prenatal and postnatal. And what are the other concepts? You will find that senescence, catch-up growth, secular trends. So these are some of the terms that is associated with this. And also, when you speak about reproductive system, reproductive biology means you have to understand also what are the major hormones that regulate and controls human reproductive biology. But apart from this, you will find that what is the reproductive age, what is age at onset of menarche, what is age and onset of that the menopause, okay, early, late, and these are some of the issues that is also you will find see from an anthropological perspective. As we are limiting our fertility, means we are having limit number of children. What is bearing? So still you will see that in different part of in major cities you will find that there are clinics are coming which are dedicated for infertility clinics. So this is an issue one can see. So anyone, you do you have any question you can ask? Any clarification, any query? Hello. No issue at all? I'm still waiting. If you are having anything to know, please ask. I thought that you have already gone through this material. It is not possible to cover the entire things within this 2 period, but still then I give you the framework and the that it is required for you or by have an understanding. But you have to read the material before attending the classes. Then you will be linked to the various concepts. Somatotyping is a very big, you can say, area of study, but what you were given prescribed in your text is, I think, fine it for academic learning purpose.
Sir,
Yes,
sir, if I have doubt later on, then
you can ask
how?
me. You can ask me. Okay, my profession is to teach. Okay, so apart my IGNU is just I'm enjoying
No,
online
sir,
classes.
actually, I haven't gone through the materials. That's why.
No, you have to go through because these are the terms you will be on. Even though you have a biology, you are not familiar with what is the somatotyping. I have spoken to you somatotyping, somatometry, somatoscopy. So you know about somatic cell and germinal cell. So from these root words, you can expand it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, but it has its growth in psychology. Okay. So short temperament. They are short stature, bald headed. Okay. So like this way, body build and behavior. From this, the science is developed. Then finally, it is anthropometry, which actually give you that what should be the ideal height, weight, and length, breadth of a good athlete. Okay, different type of sports activities are there, and what should be so? It's sports anthropology is there, and sports anthropometry is also there. Applications of physical anthropology or not future, these are the application areas of anthropology, and also it will give you some opportunity to understand how in which rate we are actually increasing or decreasing. Okay, yes, you can ask me beyond office hour, but this class also I am receiving calls. Okay, so please make some request so that I will attend your call. Okay, otherwise during class hour I will be normally disturbed. Today is a holiday, that's why I'm can able to deliver you. Okay, so any questions or any query with any individual, please, or else we can stop it here.
Sir, sir,
Yes,
what is the actually? I'm asking about the height differences. Why
yes.
equatorial places have taller than
No,
Asian or
actually, you will see that one term we are using adaptation. Okay,
yes, sir.
you know about one is adaptation. Okay, so the actually France was the person who studied among the immigrants of United States of America. Okay, and those Africans who migrated to America, they are taller than their parental generations. Okay, so he said that it is controlled by not gene, it is controlled by also environment. There is a genetical contribution, there is a environmental contribution. So it implies that those people who are living in high altitude, there is less of oxygen, high pressure. That's why you will find that there is a delayed age at menarche, growth retardation. Their chest size is different. Okay, you know about that Sherpas climbs the mountain, Mount Everest. There with little support of oxygen. We cannot tolerate. People living in seashores and coastlines, they cannot tolerate, and they will have a severe problem. Okay, when they reach the mountains. So it implies that there is a genetic role that played as far as the body build and everything is concerned. But it is not the gene alone. It has lot of nutrition, environment, there is socioeconomic profile. So many factors also responsible apart from this. That's why you will see that there are rules like Allen's rules, Gregor's rules, Bregman's rules. Okay, you read that, you will find that why people are globular in polar region, why they are linear in. It is a adaptive, it is a survival strategy. You need heat to be conserved in polar region. because of extreme cold. Here you will have to release the heat because of extreme hot. You got it?
Yes, sir. Sir,
Adaptation. Yes.
sir, it is aging also related to this? Adaptive
Yes.
is adaptation linked to aging also?
Look at one is that means aging. There is that senile decay, senescence. It should start 60 years onwards. At age 40, we are having chalicia. Okay, we will have a very, I mean, problem of vision. But some of them are, it is delaying. But what is happening? If you get children are the present generation are getting aged early, then it's a great concern. Then you have to find out it is because of pollution, it is because of a new way of living. Okay, what is the cause? That is the study, growth study. You have to under. There are established studies that it should the various organs will have their longevity. They will start. That is otherwise known as a plasticity. Okay, it is has a fixed roles, but we are attaining certain things which it should not start. It starts early. That's why it is become a concern. People are working on that gene which are actually making us aged. So they identify and they want to edit it so that the aging will be linger. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Anybody? Okay. I can conclude here. If you do not have any query or any clarification, J. Mahapatra, Samya Ranjan, Dr. Divya, Smriti, few people have joined. Okay. You can also have an interaction with me because I'm available and made for teaching only. Okay. So thank you very much. We'll meet some other times for two more blocks to be discussed. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.